Hello, my beloved twin flames. This is Caroline. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to have a look at the full moon in Scorpio happening on April 26, 2021 at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7:30 p.m. out in California. That would probably bring us to, is that like 4 a.m. in London, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And probably like 12:30 or 1 in Australia. I apologize. I did not check the specific times for each time region before jumping into this video. Do have a look, what time it is exact for you. Although we can feel this one. We definitely can feel this one. It is a big, big energy because it's a super full moon. Super full moons are closest to the earth. So right at sunset, because full moons, you have the earth in the middle and you've got the moon opposing the sun. Right when the sun sets, you will see the moon huge, just at, bright orange at its closest to the earth tonight. And those affect us the most because they are so close, and as if we need a full moon in the sign of Scorpio, no less, right now. But that's what we're having. Scorpio is the sign of the underworld, the trauma, the merging with another person. It's the sign of soulmates. It's the sign of twin flames. It's the sign, actually, I attribute also Gemini a little bit too as the sign of twin flames, because it is the twins, the siblings. So we've got stuff going on, which we'll talk about, in both of those signs. And when the moon is on the axis opposing the sun, there's a stellium going on in Taurus right now. The sun, it is Taurus season. The sun is there. Venus, Mercury, and Uranus, the very surprising, unstable Uranus. And Taurus is what's mine, and Scorpio is what's ours, right? The whole bottom chart, let's say the ascendant would be in Aries. The bottom chart is me, and the top chart is our relationship with others. And Scorpio, being the 8th sign of the zodiac, would normally sit, in the 8th house right here. It's our merging with others. It's also it's financial merging. It's joint bank accounts. It's investments, financial investments. It's inheritance as well. But, the 7th house is like the marriage house, but the 8th house is really, sexuality, and it's really merging with the other. So there's a lot of depth and intimacy, associated with Scorpio. So whatever will come up tonight will come up for clearing. It's the unconscious as well, the subconscious. It's things that are buried so deep that we aren't even aware of, but are, running the show in the background, if you will. And what's interesting about this full moon is it's happening on the 7th degree of Scorpio. And 7 is the number of relationships, right? 7 is a Libra degree. So I do feel like this is a big, big turning point for a lot of karmic relationships. I really, really do. It's also, this full moon is squaring Saturn, which is very karmic. I mean, very, very karmic. And, just the fact that it's opposing that sun is in conjunction with Uranus, shock and surprise. And just full moons in and of themselves are culmination points. And, that Uranus is 5 degrees apart from Venus. Venus is our relationships, and Mercury is our communication. Like, this is all happening like in a very, very tight conjunction, like within 10 degrees of one another. and it's all opposing, our feelings, the moon, which is in detriment in the sign of Scorpio. The moon would much rather be in Taurus where she's exalted. But no, it seems like the moon is in a bad spot. And the ruler of this moon, this is where it gets even more interesting. The ruler of this full moon, because it's in Scorpio, there's two of them. There's Mars, which is the traditional ruler of Scorpio, and there's Pluto right here. And Pluto is very stationary at the moment, right? Pluto's not moving because it's turning retrograde tomorrow. This is like wickedly powerful. Like this is just really like yeah, the ruler of this full moon stationary. Like what are the odds of all this happening at the same time? And the other ruler, Mars, is making a trine to the moon. And this is what we call a mutual reception. So the moon is in Mars's sign in detriment, and Mars is in the moon sign in Cancer, also in detriment. Mars is at fall position here when it's in Cancer, because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So very interesting energy. Nobody is really in their strong spot except for Venus. But Venus is in a strong spot, but she's next to Uranus and she's with Mercury to communicate what's going. It's just a lot of energy opposing this poor little Venus. And with that ruler going retrograde, really anything can happen. We have our beautiful divine feminine retrograde, the asteroid of Juno. I don't know if you all are feeling this. I know I am. I'm definitely feeling more introverted, less inclined to want to even communicate with my twin. I'm kind of every time Pluto goes retrograde, I'm at the fed up point. This happens every year. But I know, I understand that it's the energy, because we just had a 4 months period where Juno was in a beautiful sextile to Jupiter, right? And now they're starting to separate out, because Jupiter, the divine masculine, is still moving forward. So he's headed into Pisces, the very spiritual sign of Pisces, by May 15th, I think, middle of May. I mean, this is moving quickly here. This is happening fast. And this is going to be such a welcome change for our divine masculine, because the last, year and a half, he's been in Saturn ruled signs, Capricorn and Aquarius. So we're, finally Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces. So Jupiter is headed into a sign of dignity in 2 weeks. So this is going to be a very huge shift. That being said, he is going to start squaring the divine feminine. So there is, because she's retrograde, right? So her numbers here are going to get smaller and smaller, and he's going to keep progressing here. But this is the last square until the next conjunction in 2023. Okay, so most of 2022, next year, okay, Juno's going to finish up her retrograde over here in the sign of Sagittarius. And then when she starts moving forward, she is coming into Pisces with Jupiter. She's going to do one other retrograde, but like as long as they're in the same sign, you can kind of say they're conjunct. So they're going to be conjunct most of 2022, but they actually meet up in Aries in January of 2023. And then after that, boy, things are going to move quickly. So yes, so we're kind of heading into a square position right now. She's with the South Node, so still working on clearing up the, excavating. I just had like the most beautiful download awareness. There's a course that I'm taking on, because I read Akashic records, I am taking like the next level in my education as far as that goes. And it's a course on how to access more vital force energy, right? Because here's the problem. Here's what twin flames are here to do on this planet. Human beings have two ways of drawing energy to them, right? Either you can connect yourself to vital force energy, which we're all connected to, but we use that as a at a small percentage, believe it or not. It's not as much as you would think. And dysfunctionally enough, the way that we get most of our energy is by sucking it off of other human beings. Okay. And that is dysfunctional. It's been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. That's what we're used to. We all do it. We all still do it. It's a process to unhook ourselves from this drama. And it's no different. Twin flames draw on each other as life force energy. And the thing about learning how to yield our own energy, truly becoming sovereign, it really is the mission of twin flames. That is the change in relationship, because once you become your own source of vital force energy, you're detached, right? You're not depending on other people to fuel you. You are your own rechargeable battery. And so it's perfectly normal if right now, like the time to sort of, like I said, the energy, the divine feminine is starting to square the divine masculine. And so we can feel more like we need to go our separate ways to do our own separate work at the moment. But things are going to be exciting moving forward. It is the last square of a 7-year cycle, right? The last Juno Jupiter conjunction was in 2015. And so in the next 2 years, we're going to be closing up that cycle, which is so exciting. So exciting. And starting a brand new, fresh cycle. And so much work has been done in those 7 years. Wouldn't you say? Oh my gosh, so much work. I will read to you guys the Sabian symbol for this full moon, which is the 7th degree of Scorpio. A small cave located high in the hills and filled with goat dung. Tumultuous changes, hanging on to previous identities, ego fragments, and the sharpnel of personal illusion. You are plunged into a karmic process that exposes what is real and what is not, yet harbor such intense old places inside that it takes massive overhaul to get anywhere, forcing yourself up against a brutally harsh karmic path of exceedingly rough process. But this is what it takes when you have built up in reserve so much retrogressive stuff that you must be enveloped by it in order to uncover a way to be yourself again. Without all of these barnacles and burdens, fierce shadow world, under duress, personal and collective, tremendously powerful, treacherous and rewarding, not for the faint-hearted. You guys, this is super powerful. This is really, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Like it's a very strong force coming through this evening. Expect a purge of some sort. Be gentle on yourself. This unconditionality of just witnessing your process. That's all you have to do. Just witness your process. Know that you're progressing. Know that it's the great excavation. We are on the path to becoming the front runners for relationships on this planet. We are on the path of becoming the new role models from loving each other unconditionally without sucking the life out of one another. What a concept. So I am sending you guys so much love. I don't even know if I've covered everything here. We're still at the North Node in Gemini. Approaching also, which I really like, I just want to point this out, approaching Aldebaran, which is a fixed royal star in the sky, which is the star of Archangel Michael. And 11 degrees is the degree of it's an Aquarius degree. It's a Uranian degree. It's again, expect some changes. And this is like 3D changes because it's, again, Uranus is involved in this full moon and the North Node's on a Uranian degree. So things are moving. I am sending you guys so much love, and I will see you on the new moon in Taurus in 2 weeks, which is all about money and what we value. So please feel free to subscribe to my email newsletter where I remind you guys of exactly when the time is for that new moon so that you can write down what you would like for yourself in your life. And I will talk to you guys super soon.